What's up? It's LaPortia and welcome back to my channel, all about lifestyle, inspiration, staying focused, working on your goals, all the things. And one of my series I have on this channel is travel tips from an airline employee, where I give insider advice on how to make your travel more seamless. But my number one travel tip, life hack, is to become an airline employee so that you can have travel benefits for yourself and your loved ones. So today's video, it's all about the life hack of working part-time for an airline for the benefits. I'm going to break down for you how I got the job, tips for getting a job with an airline, the different jobs they offer at a part-time level, what are the benefits and who are they for. I'll share with you places I've gone using employee travel and tips for traveling as an employee, and how to make the job flexible for you. So let's get into it. So first, I work customer service part-time for an airline. I took on this job at a time where I was 100% self-employed. I had recently left my full-time job to pursue my business, so I actually had time. Because in the beginning, it does require some time, but we'll get into that. You push through that because eventually it could be very flexible and beneficial. So I knew I wanted to do this. I knew someone else who worked part-time for an airline and was traveling all over the world. And as someone who just gave up full-time employment, I knew it wouldn't be wise for me to spend money on things like travel. I needed a life hack to be able to still travel while pursuing this other goal of mine. So I went online and applied for part-time roles for all the major airlines. I did American Airlines, Delta, JetBlue. I was never going to work for anybody's Frontier or Spirit, so I didn't even bother. But the major airlines, I applied for whatever part-time roles were listed or available at the time. And I went with the one that called first. The airline I work for now did a mass hiring years ago, and I got in during that mass hiring. So I do part-time customer service in the airport. There are multiple part-time customer service jobs in airports, whether it's at a customer service desk, the ticket counter, working at the gates, actually boarding the flight. All of those jobs are available at a part-time level. You could also, if you don't like dealing with people, work part-time at the ramp. Those are the people you see outside with the neon vests. They may be loading bags in or taxiing a plane in. That job is also available for part-time. Other jobs include baggage. Some airlines have a baggage claim office. I don't know if they have part-time and full-time, but some people do that. And then there's reservations, which I believe is only available full-time. That's when you call a 1-800 number and get help rebooking your trip. I just wanted to give you an overview of some jobs available part-time in the airport for you to consider. So what happened next? I applied for all of these jobs. I got contacted to schedule a time to go in for a group interview. So the airline was using hotel conference rooms near the airport, and they were hosting group interviews because, again, they were doing a mass hiring. So the group interview was simple. You dress business casual, you bring your resume, they interview you maybe 6 to 9 people at a time, and the questions are all about customer service. You want to focus on customer service. So to answer these questions, draw from any customer service experience you have. This could be your freelance work. This could be you servicing your own customers in your own business. This could be retail. This could be fast food. Any customer service, you take that experience, you take stories from that job, and you answer the questions in the interview. Tell any stories about you going above and beyond for customers. So at the end of that interview, I was told there that I got the job. I was hired there at the end of the group interview. Now after that, it was weeks before I would start training. And this is where, even if you're part-time, you will have to dedicate some time, the training and the probation period. So I did a week of training locally in New York. And for the second week of training, they actually flew us to Dallas, where the airline is headquartered, and we did our training there. It is a lot of training to work in the airport. Besides learning the company and the policy and the procedures and online systems they use. You're also learning about airport safety and security. So it is a bit of a process, but honestly, the week training in Dallas was fun. The hotel we stayed at was right across from Six Flags. While there, went to Six Flags, tried different restaurants with a lot of fun places because the weekends were free. And then I flew back and did on-the-job training. So I continued my training, then continued to work, and I was on probation. The first 3 months is the real probation, where you have to work the shift you're assigned. So this is where, again, your time is still being dedicated. I was 100% self-employed, so I was able to make this work. If you do have a full-time job and you're looking to do this part-time, you may want to look into taking some vacation time for your full-time job or going on leave so you could just focus on the first few months of this job. During that probationary period, you are not able to swap out your shifts. You're able to do that after working for the company 3 months. 3 months was the airline I worked for, but I think all of them are similar. Once that 3 months is done, you can make the job very flexible for you. We'll get more into that later. First, I want to get to the good stuff. Let's talk about the benefits. What are they and who are they for? So as an airline employee, I travel on standby for free anywhere domestically. I travel on standby internationally for a small fee. I pretty much have to pay taxes. And a lot of times those taxes only hit one way. So I may travel internationally for free or really cheap, like $1 and change, and then get hit with the taxes on the return flight. As an employee traveling on standby, they give you the best seat available. For me, more than half the time, that has been first class or business class. Now, these same benefits apply to your spouse and your children if you have children. There are other benefits offered to your parents. You could put 2 parents on your employee benefits, and they travel for a small fee. Even domestically, they have to pay a tax, but it is very cheap. My mom has taken flights for $16. Then anyone else, you are given buddy pass most of the time. I think at least one airline I know has recently gotten rid of buddy passes, but mine still has them. So you get a certain amount of buddy passes a year that you can give to friends, family members, anyone who is not covered under your benefits, anyone that you want to share this with. Buddy passes are also a fee. They're a little more. Depending on where you're going, buddy passes can be a little pricey. What makes it all worth it is that anytime you travel with benefits, whether it's yourself or someone using a buddy pass, you get to check bags for free. So, for example, one time my sister used a buddy pass, and for the amount of the buddy pass, she could have gotten like a cheap line basic economy ticket, maybe like the same cost of a Spirit ticket. However, she would have then had to pay to check 2 bags, where when she traveled with the buddy pass, those 2 bags were covered for free. So she went with the buddy pass and of course ended up with a better seat. Buddy passes are also worth it if you're going somewhere far, and that would usually be pretty expensive. One of my friends recently went to London using one of my buddy passes, and she got business class to London, which was an amazing experience for her. Another reason this job has been beneficial, besides travel benefits, even as a part-time employee, I do get other benefits like health insurance and 401k. So this is another reason I recommend this for self-employed people, freelancers, entrepreneurs. This saves you just working a part-time job from having to pay for your own health insurance. Now, where have I gone using employee travel and tips for traveling as an employee, because it is standby? So I've gone to London, I've gone to Paris twice, I've been to Mexico, I often travel to Barbados. If you've seen this channel before, I'm sure you know that. And I travel domestically all the time too. 2 of my best friends live in Georgia and Mississippi, and I fly to see them and their family pretty often. The key to standby is the day that you travel. That has been key for me. Christmas Day, not a good time to be standby. A Friday in June after work, not a good time to be standby. I love traveling on weekdays. The flights are usually open. I also, because I have employee benefits because I also don't have children. Like, I don't have to limit my travel to the summer. So just traveling during off times when everyone else is not traveling. Also, where you go matters too. So because my birthday is in April, it's actually coming up, I travel during spring break a lot. But for my birthday is when I went to London, when I went to Paris. That's not really a spring break type of vacation. And those tickets are pricier, so you're more than likely to get business class. I was able to get business class every time because those seats cost thousands of dollars, so they don't sell out as much as the first class or business class on a domestic flight. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, those are great days to travel. If you have to travel on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just don't wait for the most ideal flight. Like, who want a 1 o'clock flight on a Saturday when you don't have to wake up early? If you have to travel on a Saturday, you may want to go in the morning and stand by for that 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. flight. But as long as you are strategic with the time of year you travel, the day of the week you travel, you keep an eye on the flights because we're able to look at the flights and see the seats that are available. Also keeping an eye on the weather. That will let you know, will there be delays that messes up travel for that day. Honestly, it could be seamless. I have never had a problem getting on a flight, and I've worked for an airline going on 5 years now. I have never been stranded in an airport. And no one who has traveled on my flight benefits has been stranded in an airport. Just plan and be strategic. It is absolutely worth it. Now let's talk about flexibility. You have your job, you have your benefits, you're ready to travel, and you want to make this job flexible for you. This job could be very flexible. A lot of people that work part-time for airlines have other full-time jobs, other part-time jobs, businesses, freelance work, do content, because you could really take control of your schedule and make it work for you. So once you pass that probationary period, you have the option to swap shifts. That's when you're going to work with your coworkers, you're going to team up with people and trade shifts to make your schedules work for you. Now, how do you get your shift? You bid on it. My airline bids happen quarterly. So first you're going to bid the best schedule you could get. There are people that work 9 to 5 during the day, so they bid the closing shift 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the airport. So if they can't get rid of a shift and they have to work it, they can make it to the airport after their full-time job. So that's first. Bid the most ideal shift you can get. Work together. Find coworkers that you can work with. Swap shifts. Maybe you want to get rid of all your weekday shifts and you'll work for them on the weekend. Maybe you want to take all their shifts 1 week and you work doubles and give them the week off. Then the following week they take all your shifts and they work doubles and you get the week off. So you work every other week. There's so many ways you could work together and make this work. Now, in addition to swapping, you can also just post your shifts. So if people want extra hours, they could go online, look at the shifts that are posted, and simply just pick up a shift. Once your shift is picked up, it's gone, you're free, you're off. You don't have to work back for anybody. That is now your free time, your free day. And lastly, so in addition to swapping, in addition to just posting shifts to get rid of them, you also get vacation weeks every year. I get 4 weeks of vacation. So that's 4 weeks that's automatically off. Then you also get sick days that you could use. So that could be your backup plan. You really are just going to be like proactive, talk to people, swap your shifts, work with someone, make a deal arrangement with someone, and you can really choose your own schedule. And that way you can work part-time for an airline, get your health insurance, get your 401k, get your flight benefits, and then also work your full-time job or your freelance work or grow your business or work on content or nothing at all, whatever you want to do. The good thing is, just like you could get rid of shifts, you can also pick up shifts. So if ever there's a lull in your business or a slow season in your other job and you want extra hours, you will have the opportunity to do that as well. Again, you can control your schedule. Flight benefits, the regular benefits, the flexibility, the control of your schedule. I have found this to be an amazing life hack. I've traveled places I've never been before, and I've been able to maintain friendships with my closest friends that live in other states and not miss important moments in their lives and their kids' lives, overall, I think traveling is such a gift, and I'm happy to be able to do that and to also gift it to my family and friends. So if you have any questions about working for an airline, put it in the comments. I'm happy to help, give you tips, answer anything you want to know. I'll link any related videos below that I've created. If you like, comment, subscribe, send this to a friend who could use this information so y'all could go on trips together. The trips could make it out the group chat. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.